Most people manage pain the same way. They reach for something that blocks it, and it works for a while. But here's the question that most people never ask. What is actually happening inside your body when a herb, just a plant, reduces pain? Because there's a real difference between masking a signal and addressing what is actually creating it. And the plants I'm going to show you today do not mask anything. They work at the molecular level on the exact same biological pathways that pharmaceutical pain medications work on. Some of them are the original source of those medications. So understanding this helps you to stop thinking about them as alternatives and start thinking about them as the original. So let me start with inflammation, because most pain begins here. When your body detects tissue stress or damage, it triggers a cascade of inflammatory chemicals. Two enzymes called COX2 and 5-LOX activate and produce the signals that create pain, that create swelling and heat. And this is why conventional pain medications target COX2, such as ibuprofen, aspirin, and most NSAIDs. They block that enzyme, reduce the inflammation, and reduce the pain. But here's what most people do not know and need to know. There are two arms to this inflammatory pathway. The COX2 is one. The 5-LOX is the other. Ibuprofen only blocks the COX2. The 5-LOX arm keeps running. So the inflammation continues through that second pathway even when you take an NSAID. 3 herbs in this blend work on both arms simultaneously. Turmeric. Its compound curcumin blocks the COX2 directly. It also suppresses NF-κB, the master switch that turns on inflammatory gene expression in the first place. It's not just blocking the output, it's turning off the switch upstream. Boswellia, another herb, targets the 5-LOX specifically, the arm that ibuprofen misses. Research on Boswellia for joint inflammation is extensive and consistent. It reaches where conventional anti-inflammatories cannot. Ginger reduces prostaglandins, the pain signaling compounds that accumulate in inflamed tissue. Studies have compared ginger to NSAIDs for pain reduction and found comparable effects without the gastrointestinal damage. 3 herbs, both arms of the inflammatory pathway, plus the master switch. That is what the first layer of this blend does. Inflammation is one part of the pain picture, but pain is also a signal. It's a message traveling through the nervous system. And that signal can be turned down. This is where 2 herbs work that most people have never heard of. Corydalis is one of the most remarkable herbs in the entire tradition of Chinese medicine for pain. It works on dopamine receptors in the brain's own pain gating system. Here is what that means, simply. Your brain has the ability to suppress its own pain signals. There is a mechanism called descending pain inhibition. This is where the brain turns pain down from within. Corydalis activates that mechanism. It does not block pain from outside. It activates your brain's own capacity to quiet the signal. This is why Corydalis is effective for pain that inflammation herbs alone cannot fully address, such as nerve pain, deep chronic pain, pain that has a strong nervous system component. It is working at the level of the brain, not the tissue. Then there is California poppy. And this is not opium poppy. This works through the GABA pathway, the same calming pathway you have heard me talk about in the chamomile video. When the nervous system is chronically stressed and hyperactive, pain signals are amplified. The nervous system itself is turned up too loud. California poppy helps the nervous system settle, and when it settles, pain perception changes. These two herbs address the neurological dimension of pain, something turmeric and Boswellia cannot reach. Now, white willow bark, this is where the story gets interesting. White willow bark contains a compound called salicin. Your body converts salicin into salicylic acid. And salicylic acid is the same molecule that aspirin was originally synthesized from. The pharmaceutical industry took a compound from this tree bark, isolated it, concentrated it, and patented it. The original source was sitting in the forest for thousands of years before anyone thought to put it in a lab. The difference between white willow bark and aspirin is how it works. The herb releases its active compound more slowly and more gently, without the gastric irritation that synthetic salicylates cause. For ongoing chronic pain that needs consistent support rather than one-time spike, that gentleness matters significantly. And then there's black pepper. Black pepper is in this blend for one specific reason. The compound piperine in black pepper increases the absorption of curcumin from turmeric by up to 2,000%. Without black pepper, most of the turmeric you consume passes through your system without being absorbed. But with it, turmeric becomes dramatically more effective. This is what formulation actually means. Not just choosing the right herbs, but understanding how they work together inside your body. So let me bring it together. 7 herbs, 3 distinct pathways. The inflammatory pathway, you will have turmeric, Boswellia, and ginger working on both arms of the cascade simultaneously, including the master switch upstream. The nervous system pathway, you have Corydalis activating the brain's own pain quieting mechanism, and California poppy calming the nervous system hyperactivity that amplifies pain. The foundational pathway, this is where we use white willow bark, which provides gentle, sustained relief the way it has for thousands of years. And then black pepper, making sure the most powerful compound in the blend actually reaches your system. No single herb does all of this, but together they address pain as what it actually is, an inflammatory event, a nervous system signal, and a biochemical cascade all at once. This is what I formulated the pain liberation blend around, not to mask the signal, but to address what is creating it. If this resonated, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Every week I share content on herbs, nutrition, brain health, and nervous system wellness, rooted in both traditional medicine and neuroscience. The Pain Liberation Blend is in the description. And if you want additional support, it's also in the description. Health Roots Holistic, rooted in nature, backed by science.